Charlotte Angerman. Charlotte, or Suri Angerman, and her husband Al, along with their only child Rochelle and their son-in-law Yossi Klein, bought a two-family house in 1977 when the young couple got married. Shortly thereafter, the two couples made the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills their spiritual home and became members. Soon the family grew, and Charlotte and Al were delighted as three grandchildren grew up in that house and joined them in the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills. Charlotte loved to hear Yossi blow shofar during Yomim Noraim and honored her family by lighting candles at the Young Israel Yom HaShoah commemorations. She cherished the moments dancing at family smachot in the Simcha room. When Al needed assistance, she would bring him to Daf Yomi early each morning. She joyfully celebrated the Hachnasa Sefer Torah, commissioned under the guidance of Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld and Rabbi Yoel Schoenfeld, in fulfillment of Al's wishes, and appreciated seeing it in its frequent use. She felt privileged to enjoy so many wonderful years surrounded by her family and friends in the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills Shul community. Dr. Donald Berger. Donald and Carol Berger first visited Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills for Slichos in 1962. After parking in front of the farm that is now YCQ, they wondered in what kind of wilderness had they just bought a home. They became Young Israel members in 1963 as soon as they moved in. The shul interior was unfinished at the time and was set up with folding chairs. Don almost immediately became an active member of the synagogue planning committee, working closely with its chair, his YU classmate Manny Holzer. Though they worked diligently for years on the ultimate design of the sanctuary, Don always felt his biggest contribution was a major redesign that placed the Ezras Nashim elevated on the sides rather than in the back of the shul. In the first few decades of their membership, Don could always be seen heading quickly up 71st Avenue and 70th Road with some of his 4 kids in tow. He was a fixture in his still-named Row D seats, even later in life when a kindly neighbor would bring him to shul by wheelchair. This picture from the 18th anniversary dinner appeared in the 20th Journal. In the mid-70s, the extended Berger family was responsible for the addition of the Soviet Jewry flag to the shul's front bima. Donald and Carol were silver awardees at the 1987 shul weekend. Donald and family always had a close relationship with Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld through all stages of life. Don and Carol were honored to have him serve as Sandik at a 1967 bris, as the Masader Kedushin for all 4 kids' weddings later in life, and to lead all major events in between. Helen Berger. My grandmother, Helen Berger, was a member of the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills from 1955 to 2008, at which time she moved to Chicago. She was devoted to the shul and served as Women's League president. She, alongside my grandfather Aaron, attended the main minyan on Shabbos morning every week. Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld and Ruth were the guiding forces in their lives and led them in the way of Torah and mitzvos. My grandparents were builders of the shul both physically and spiritually, and remained connected to the shul, its members, and the rabbi and rebbitzin until their passing. Margie Block. Margie Block, along with her husband Jack and 3 children, Sharon, Michael, and Davida, was a decades-long member of the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills. A contemporary of Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld, she raised her family in the warm community of Kew Gardens Hills, where the shul was the heart and center of her family's life. My siblings and I have fond memories of going to groups, having Shabbat meals with my parents' Kew Gardens Hills friends, hosting Rabbi Schoenfeld in our sukkah, and being inspired on the Yomim Noraim by Oscar Goldman and Shlomi Liebler. Even after they were no longer able to attend shul, my parents maintained their shul membership to keep up with the goings-on at the Young Israel. It gave my parents much pleasure to see their granddaughter Lindsay Pianco get married and move to Dara Gardens and attend the Young Israel. Dora Goldberg. Our parents, Samuel and Dorothy Goldberg, were among the founding members of the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills. They moved to Kew Gardens Hills when there was still farmland across the street, not a yeshiva, and Fabian Schoenfeld was the young rabbi chosen to lead the flock. Our mother was always very active in the sisterhood and served as co-president with Ruth Kantrowitz. Our parents ran the kosher liquor wine sales out of their garage for a few years, which was a very successful source of income for the shul. Team Goldberg was a proud part of a wonderful community that inspired Ahavas Yisrael and Kibud Hashem. It has been a difficult year with memories inspired by the seemingly most ordinary events, but our mother's steadfast love of our culture, spirituality, and music will continue to permeate our lives. Dr. Eric Goldschmidt. Eric and Helen Goldschmidt moved to Kew Gardens Hills in the summer of 1968 and joined Young Israel immediately. Their son Daniel was bar mitzvahed at the Young Israel in September 1968. Howie was bar mitzvahed in November 1971 at the shul. Eric was devoted to the shul and to Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld, with whom he had a close relationship. He attended the Shabbat pre-Mincha Gemara Shir every week and enthusiastically participated in the discussions. In the sanctuary, Eric's seat was in the front row, directly across from the rabbi's chair. In their later years, when Rav Yoel sat on the stage, Eric sat next to Rabbi Fabian in the front row during Yomim Noraim. Mark Horowitz. Mark, or Michael, as he was known to family members, was a Brooklyn native who made the trek to Kew Gardens Hills 45 years ago because his wife wanted to be near Rabbi Schoenfeld. Initially, he davened in the Young Marrieds Minyan, but then ascended to the main Minyan where he served as Gabbai with Sammy Grossman. The job, among other duties, entailed getting to the shul early every Shabbos afternoon to set up the Shalashudas. Later, he was in charge of the Tzedakah Fund, which Dr. Levinson now so ably leads. In later years, Mark was a member of the Daf Yomi group and was an avid follower of Dr. Konigsberg. Often, on only 4 hours of sleep, he would get up at 5:15 a.m. and go to the shir. In later years, Dr. Stephen Jacobs would pick him up and drive him to shul. In addition, Mark would go Friday mornings to Rabbi Gladstein's shir. In short, Michael was a true lamdan and he benefited from the shul's learning resources. The family would like to thank all those men in shul who helped Mark put on tefillin and his talis when he came to shul. It was a true chesed shel emes. Rita Roth. My mother participated in the shul's sisterhood and davened at the main minyan. My parents were members since 1966. My mother was spiritual and always appreciated her long-standing relationship with the shul. She appreciated the davening on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Jacob Yankee Schwartz. Yankel Schwartz was born in Queens in 1928 and moved to Kew Gardens Hills in 1961. Yankel, also known as Jack or Jacob, was a member of the Young Israel of Kew Gardens Hills for over 50 years. He served as the shul's Baal Tokea for a number of years and developed long and close relationship with Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld. Yankel attended Rabbi Gladstein's shiurim in the shul and continued to attend Rabbi Yoel Schoenfeld's online shiur well into his 90s. His family, his shul, his community, and his avodas Hashem were all integral parts of his long life. Known for his wisdom and cheerful, positive nature, Yankel will be missed by all. Gladys Sherman. Gladys was a longtime resident of Kew Gardens Hills and member of our shul. Her zest for life and beautiful smile endeared her to all who knew her. The home and life that she and Lenny built together was enriched by their relationship with Rabbi Schoenfeld. She is sorely missed by her family and her many friends. Jerry Sklar. In 1973, Jerry and Martha moved into their house on 71st Avenue in Kew Gardens Hills with their two sons, Steve and Alan, and their puppy, Penny. Jerry and Martha immediately joined the Young Israel as active members, attending Shabbat services every week. Jerry loved to discuss Rabbi Fabian Schoenfeld's Devar Torah every Shabbat. Jerry also assisted with office and administrative tasks. Jerry served as president of the Young Israel for 2 terms and held various other positions during his 45-plus years as a member. He loved to study and learn, and after retiring from his CPA practice, joined as many shiurim as possible. In the late 1990s, Jerry and Martha began spending time in Las Vegas to spend more time with their grandchildren, but Jerry always managed to call Rabbi Schoenfeld to wish him a good Shabbos every week. In 2010, Martha, the love of his life, passed away. With the advice and encouragement of his close friend and confidant, Rabbi Schoenfeld, Jerry soldiered on for more than a dozen years, representing both himself and Martha at various simchas, dancing at the wedding of his granddaughter, celebrating the birth of 2 great-grandchildren, and holding his great-grandson at his bris. In 2017, as Jerry approached his 90th birthday and it became too difficult to travel between Las Vegas and New York, Jerry sold his apartment in Kew Gardens Hills, but remained a remote member of the Young Israel. Jerry passed away on Lag BaOmer, May 9th, 2023. Sarah Zolkin. My mom was a very passionate person, always concerned about the needs of Klal Yisrael. She and my father, Donald, davened at the Hashkama Minyan. She took wonderful care of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. She is sorely missed. May their neshamot have an aliyah, and may they be melitze yosher for us all. We will never forget these precious souls.